Hello, hello! The doc is in, and today we're talking about a series that I talked about pretty early on in the channel, but haven't talked about since because I didn't feel like it. But we're very spontaneous on the channel, so we're kind of just gonna do whatever I feel like at any given time. And this time, we're talking about One Piece. But not an actual One Piece chapter, but spoilers for an upcoming chapter. Now, if you're watching my channel, but for some reason don't pay attention to One Piece, but watching my video about One Piece, welcome. And let me just give you a quick lowdown. I'm not going to explain the history because One Piece is too dang long, alright? If you want to learn about One Piece, or you want to learn the overall story about One Piece up to around this point, go ahead and go watch one of like the 5-hour long videos where they give you all the deets and all the stuff, alright? They're really great. I've watched multiple of them, even though I already knew all the story. Anyway, so in the last chapter, right, basically, Luffy is down. Dead up to question or not, but he's down. The CP0 agent who made Luffy go down is also down, but more likely dead than Luffy. Kaido is basically like, everybody who fought against me, you guys are slaves now, and so are your families. Have fun. And everybody else is like, oh no, my families, please spare them. And he's like, nah. And so Kaido's like, until Momonosuke surrenders, everybody's catching the hands until he surrenders. And we're gonna keep it rocking till he surrenders. And Momonosuke is outside like, dang, should I just surrender? Cause I don't want anybody else to die. And Yamato's, she's stepping, all right. She's like, nah. We do not surrender, all right. If we're gonna die, at least we're gonna die swinging. We're not pussies, all right. We're not just gonna, just roll over. And while this conversation is going on or whatever, basically Zunisha's like, hey, bro, I'm reminiscing right now. I definitely hear this drums of liberation right now. And we just cut to Luffy and he's looking all drippy, literally. And so basically the consensus of the community is like, okay, clearly this is the awakening of the fruit, and like the Joy Boy stuff is coming together, and like this is gonna like explain like, the Gorosei talking about like, oh, fruit's not actually the fruit's name and blah blah blah. Basically, and the theory I believed at the time was, okay, Luffy's fruit has special capabilities of some form, and likely is some type of variation of the Gamu Gamu no Mi, or the rubber fruit. And now that he's awakening it, now he's gonna like be able to access the full capabilities of the fruit, and like it's connected to Joy Boy because Joy Boy more than likely had the fruit in the past, and whatever. My belief about what the fruit would actually be, it seems like it was going to be the resin fruit, or like rubber resin, like the sap that I guess comes from trees. And so that was going to be like the basis for a lot of his techniques in this new form or in his awakening, and so on and so forth. Really great time, very interesting. Rogers Base did a mini reverie / mini stream with a number of other creators. They talked about this ad nauseum. I thought this video was really good. I thought this was pretty accurate. The consensus was it is the same rubber no Mi, but it is gonna be slightly different. Well, I believe this until chapter 1044, the spoilers came out, and I'm reading through the spoilers, and obviously, okay, Luffy's not dead. Cool. The Gorosei's talking about the fruit or whatever, and how they couldn't get the fruit for 800 years, which is kind of wild, because it's like, well, it's just a fruit. How are you not able to find a fruit for 800 years? It's kind of weird. And I guess this goes back to like why who was in so much trouble for losing Gamu Gamu no Mi, because they just got it and then lost it, that sort of thing. It makes sense, whatever. And then as I'm reading spoilers, they're like, oh yeah, zones really have a mind of their own. I'm like, zones? They talking about Kaido? Is Kaido's involved with this or something? And I'm reading on. And so basically, let me read like verbatim what it says. The Gorosei says that the Gamu Gamu no Mi is actually a zone type fruit, and that its real name is the Hito no Mi, the human fruit, mythical model Nika. I literally lost my mind. Well, I just started laughing because one of like the main things it seemed like a lot of consensus was, well, at least from creators I watch, was that they don't want the fruit to like change completely. Like it's like completely unrelated to being the rubber fruit, and it's like kind of doesn't make sense. Where like if it's like the resin rubber fruit, whatever, it's kind of like it's loosely connected to the initial rubber fruit. So it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense for it to be this way, but no, actually it is a completely different fruit. And people are saying like, oh, it could be like some Wukong fruit or something. No. It's its own fruit. Not only that, but it's a human fruit, okay, and he's Maronika. I'm like, wait, what? How? And my main question here, going off from this, is how does this connect to the rubber and stuff? I mean, I'm not a researcher. I mean, I am a doctor, but I outsource my research stuff to other people, and then I collect it, and then understand the research, and then bring it out to you guys. And so I'm like, as far as I understand, Nika is supposed to be like a representation for sun god, blah 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 blah. Where does rubber come into this? I just don't understand. I don't. I mean, it's not like I have a problem with this. I'm just a casual, I guess a casual One Piece enjoyer. I'm not gonna get like too up in arms about like, oh, you know, the fruit's actually a zone fruit. But I do feel like it's an interesting choice to say at this point in the story, actually, it's not a paramecia at all. He's actually a zone fruit user, and a mythical model zone fruit user. I mean, if we're talking about in universe, it logically makes sense because like, oh, mythical zones are known to have like, you know, basically be like kind of like the top tier of all fruits, where they have like the ability, they have like weird abilities like paramecias, but they also get the benefits of zones and so on and so forth. You know, there's a lot of like special stuff about a mythical zone. So canonically it makes sense in the concept of, oh, if Luffy was to have a special fruit, it should be a mythical zone because it would allow him to do a lot of various things. It would kind of like explain why, like, you know, it's a special fruit, blah 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 blah. But on the other hand, I'm like, why? I mean, I understand the thematic reasons for this, but I'm also like, I don't understand why this. I feel like it's going to be explained more in another chapter, I guess. Next chapter, not next week's chapter, because apparently there isn't going to be a chapter for another 2 weeks because of Jump going on another break after this. So we're gonna have to sit with Zone Luffy now, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. And just go over the rest of the spoilers. Basically, it goes the way of like all anime. So, well, all anime / One Piece stuff in general. Luffy, this is his gear 5th. All right, cool. He's gonna go fight Kaido. He manhandles Kaido in his dragon form, pulls his behind up to the roof, and starts literally beating the ever-loving god crap out of him. It's just like, wow. I'm not surprised, but I'm just like, dang, this is quite the power boost. We went from questionably being able to like beat him in like one last final clash to literally just beating the crap out of him. Just wake up hands. I'm like, okay. Apparently, as we suspected, his awakening is able to turn other things into rubber. He turns part of the castle into rubber, and when Kaido shoots a borrow breath at Luffy, he's able to bounce it back at Kaido, which is cool. It sounds great. It's only the part where he's a zone user, not a paramecia user, that kind of throws everything off, in my opinion. But that's basically all that happens in the chapter. Also, Hiyori like reveals her face, but I mean, you know, with everything else going on in the chapter, do I really care about Hiyori? She better only get like one panel in the chapter, because I could care less. She does not need a whole page. I need more explanation of what's going on with this zone fruit. That's what I need to find out about. I need to know about this zone fruit. That's what I'm concerned about. The zone fruit. So yeah, this next chapter is definitely going to be a lot of hype. I might put out a chapter review for that. I don't know. But thank you for watching my video. If you got this far, I appreciate it very much. If you like, leave a like. If you dislike, leave a dislike. Comment if you have thoughts. I would love to find out other thoughts before going on to the next chapter. Subscribe if you're feeling generous, and I guess that's all for the doctor. Making my leave. Peace out.